Welcome to the InCites podcast by UNSW Law Society. Before we begin, the production team would like to begin by acknowledging the Gadigal people, the traditional custodians of the land on which this podcast is made, and pay our respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. We are the podcasting directors of 2023. So we'll start off by introducing ourselves, our degree, as well as a fun fact. So I'm Chelsea. I'm in my third year studying commerce and law. A fun fact about me is that I'm learning to drive a manual car.
Yep, so I'm Eva. I'm in my third year as well, studying economics and law. A fun fact about me is that I was born in this place called St. Martin.
And I am Adin. I study commerce and law in my third year. And a fun fact about me is that I was born on an airplane.
Thank you, guys. So as our first podcast of the year, we're going to start off with a bang. We've received questions from students on Instagram, and we've spiced it up ourselves with some questions that we wrote. So let's get straight into the serious questions. Do you put on your left sock first or your right sock first?
I think I put on my left sock first because, I don't know, I feel like that's something I would do, so.
I'm actually on the other end. If it ain't right, it ain't right. That's kind of a life motto I live by. So I'm very firm on the right sock on first kind of team.
Well, what about you, Chelsea?
I personally put both on at the same time.
Interesting.
Splendid.
Yeah. All right, so moving on, we have some general questions about LawSoc. And so who we are, what we do. So first one, off to Adin. Who are we?
So LawSoc is the student representative body for all students who currently are doing a degree of law. What that means is that we provide events, talks, competitions to kind of develop you beyond your degree. So I think that sums up pretty much what LawSoc does.
Yeah, perfect. All right, then next question to Eva. What LawSoc events were the most memorable for you?
There were quite a lot, I think, but I think the main two are definitely peer mentoring back in first year, because that's where I met my great friend Chelsea, and definitely the law party towards the end of the year. Yeah.
I do remember that. That was a good time.
Yeah, that was a good time. Yeah, so if there is a law party the end of this year, you guys should all go, because it was definitely very fun, very memorable.
So our next question, it's a more general question for everyone. Why podcasting?
So I guess I'll start with my reasoning on why I decided to pick podcasting. So for me, I actually like to listen to podcasts every now and then. So in fact, I actually subscribe to a few podcasts as well. And I guess when I saw that LawSoc was having this thing where they are doing podcasting episodes for law students, I was actually very interested, because I feel like if there was podcasting episodes when I was in first year, it would have been very helpful. Yeah, so that's why I decided to pick podcasting.
I think for me, this is actually my second year in podcasting. And I think in the first year, it was very kind of a last minute decision. But I fell in love with kind of the research, and I got to realize that from speaking to all the lawyers who came on as guests in the show, that law isn't very stagnant. There are a lot of kind of career progression paths, and prior to what I used to believe, where you just do corporate law or criminal law, there's a lot of nuance in terms of career progression. I guess I would have never realized that unless I talked to people, and I guess I want to do that again.
Okay, I guess for me, I'm very similar to Eva. So I didn't really know much about podcasting. So I recently got into podcasting because of Suburb Talks that I've been listening to. And yeah, I just found it very entertaining. And then I guess joining LawSoc, it is a good mix of kind of like law information as well as entertainment. So I think that is a very good kind of like balance between professional and uni life.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Whoa, guys, that was some pretty heavy stuff. How about we kind of break the ice with some personal questions? So the first one is, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? What do you guys think about that?
I think I would rather fight probably a one horse-sized duck, because it's one thing.
Really?
And
That
I
is very
think
interesting.
it's very
That is
easy
very
to fight a one horse-sized duck. Yeah.
That is actually very interesting.
I think I would choose the opposite. I would choose 100 duck-sized horses
Why?
because what if I get permanently like injured by the one?
Okay, but
horse-sized duck?
how scary is it to be chased by 100 duck-sized
No,
horses?
but ducks can get pretty aggressive.
I used to think fighting 100 duck-sized horses are easier than one horse-sized duck. But recently, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, maybe one horse-sized duck is easier because you're just fighting one thing. And I
But-
can like...
Isn't it harder?
But no, but a duck-sized horse is basically a rabbit, if you think about it. Because a rabbit is like duck-sized,
And,
and
like,
it's,
even
it's
though it
strong
takes
like
a
a
very long
horse.
time because it's 100, but like they're
But they run fast.
but they're not.
No, but
all
ducks
in
are also
one-
fast.
Yeah, but I can grab its like legs or something.
No,
like,
but they're
grab-
big. They
They're
actually
big.
Oh,
attack you.
that's true.
It's like huge. Well, as the
Yeah.
100 duck-sized
Guys,
horses.
this is what law students do to you.
Excellent.
Oh, this is deep. This is a thinker. Would you rather have no money or no love? Let's sit on that for a while. For me,
I think... Okay,
oh no, you go first.
Okay, so I enjoy reading books every now and then. So
For real?
I've actually started reading this. Well, I finished this book and I actually recommended it to Adin. It's this book called Tuesday with Maury. And I guess the entire book was talking about why, not the entire book, but one of the chapters were talking about why we need love and how money is
Real.
all like materialistic. So for me, after reading that book, I guess I'm leaning more towards no money because I feel like money is something that you can earn. It's easy to earn money, but it wouldn't be easy to earn, I guess, have love or collect love if you lose them or if you don't have love. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, no. When I first heard this question, I was gonna say I can't live without money, but your words have inspired me. No, definitely. Yeah, I would choose the same. What about
Personally,
you?
as someone right now with no money and no love, I think of it in terms of what I want to change the most. And I think I want to get my money up first because a lot of my friends who are dating, the kind of common consensus is having a boyfriend, having a girlfriend is super expensive. That's kind of what I've heard a lot. Whether it's true, I'll let you know. But I definitely think that you gotta get your finances in order first before you find a significant other. And that's all we have for our personal questions today. I'll pass it off to Eva to...
Talk about the questions we got from our Instagram. Our first question, it was 2 questions, but I'm going to make it into one. How do you make friends and how do you stay close with friends from high school? So make friends at uni and then stay close with friends that you have from high school.
That's a very good question to whoever asked that. I think for me, in terms of high school friends, you come to realize you're only friends with some people because you see them, 9 hours a day? I forgot the length of a school day.
That was all day.
10,
9 to 3.
12,
Eight-
1, 2, 3, 7.
Yeah, 7 hours a
7.
day, 5 days a week. Definitely keep in touch with the people that you were close to in high school, but don't feel pressure to be close with everyone. Obviously everyone's busy, everyone has their own life, so if someone's distant, don't cut them off straight away.
Yeah.
But if you can see they're not making an effort and you're making too much of an effort, I guess don't kind of hold yourself back to just your high school friends, and definitely look out and look for people in your cohort, people in your class, people you see at uni, because who knows, they could become your close friends. So that's
Yeah.
basically my advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, adding on to that, I actually made a few close friends at uni, these 2 included.
And I think adding on is also that in high school you will find that some of your friends aren't going to the same unis. Like your timetables would change a lot or it wouldn't match up, especially like people from UCIT and UNSW. So I would say that for the people that you were close with and you do want to maintain that relationship, definitely find the time to actually go out, whether it's checking up on each other like once a month or so. Yeah, and I guess in terms of uni friends, definitely in your first year, be very social. Go to all the different types of events, check out like the different societies for all your degrees. Yeah, I think that's where you actually find very close friends.
Making friends at uni is very hard. I I think I always say that I was very lucky to have met a lot of friends from uni, and that is mainly because I joined societies. I joined like Law Society, and I also joined Actuarial Society in first year, and that's where I actually met most of my close friends from. So I definitely recommend joining subcommittee if the applications are still open. And join peer mentoring programs that most societies do have, and definitely maybe go to first year camps. Yeah, so the second question for us is, how do you make notes for law?
For me, I used to think the IRAC structure was only for some of the viewers at home who haven't figured out what the IRAC structure is or haven't been taught. Issue, rule, argument, and conclusion, I think.
Yeah.
So that's normally how you write problem questions. But if you think about it, you should write your notes to answer problem questions. So I think the best way to approach notes in terms of like tracking down cases is IRAC, just boiling it down to the facts, the issues, the rule, what you learned, and how this applies to a problem question or a mid-sem is the best way to kind of make notes, I reckon.
Yeah, I like to use OneNote during class to type out anything that the lecturer has said, and then use Word or Google Doc to make my own notes. Yeah, for my reading and also after the lecture. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. So I think in my own times, for my own notes, I would create a table as what Eva has said, with this different sections. I would say to note that it is pretty important to read the cases fully. So don't read like online summaries, even though that, we don't have the time. But yeah, I think that you learn a lot more about the nuances within the actual cases if you do read it. And yeah, during class, I use Google Docs, so I would have my own notes and then have a separate doc for class notes so that it's easier to look back and forth.
So the next question is, how do you prevent burnout but also grind for law?
I think to prevent burnout, I think you would probably try and manage your time. So watch out for your time management. If you know that you have things coming up, whether it is like assessments or you have certain social events coming up, or work as well, in advance, try and block those times out so you see what's going to be ahead of you, and also kind of reflect on like how much you can take yourself to see if you have a good balance between all your different aspects in life. And yeah.
Yeah, I think don't overestimate on how many things you can do, especially in first year. I know first year can be very exciting and you want to try a lot of new things because you are first year in university, but don't overestimate on how many things you can do, because I guess that's what I did in first year as well, and kind of did get a little burnout, but yeah, definitely learned from that. Second thing is, I got told that you should use Google Calendar towards the end of first year, and that was the best tip ever. I started using Google Calendar the start of my second year, and that was so good. Like you were able to time manage very well, and at the same time, because you have so many things going on, especially with uni and extracurricular activities and maybe your part-time casual work, you don't know when you're free. So with Google Calendar, you can time manage very well, at the same time study for whatever you need to study for. Yeah,
that's fair. I think for me, it's not being afraid to rely on your friends. If you can feel yourself burning out, this bit of advice is a bit 50-50, but don't be afraid to take kind of a week off. I understand that law and kind of adjusting to law is pretty difficult because there's a lot of pages they expect you to read in 2 days, 3 days. If you can feel yourself burning out, maybe reach out to a friend, someone in your class, be like, hey, I'm a bit stressed this week. Could you please send me the notes? Obviously, this should be taken with a grain of salt, because you let 1 week get away from you and then suddenly it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and suddenly you're 6 weeks behind and you have the finals coming up and you don't know what to do. But it's kind of being measured and kind of knowing your limits and relying on your friends. Yeah, that's definitely my advice.
Yeah.
So our last question for today is, do you have any tips for incoming law students?
For me, it's be open. In first year, I suffered with a lot of imposter syndrome. I was like, I don't deserve to be a law student. Why am I even here? I don't deserve any of these opportunities. But I definitely think that a lot of people feel that way. And if you kind of get over that and realize, hey, maybe I am qualified, maybe everyone's figuring things out just like I am, and kind of going to do every opportunity, going to the talks, making an effort to do the competitions, making an effort to speak up in class. I think that's how you get the most out of a law degree, and that's how you separate yourself from other candidates. It's just being open and going after every opportunity that's there for you.
Yeah. I think I just wanted to say, and Adin, you brought up before previously, it was about like falling behind in work. I think that like for first years especially, because you're not used to the uni routine and everything, you have a lot of readings. So I guess an advice would be just to keep up on your readings, because for a lot of like my time, I would do the first couple of weeks and then fall behind, and then after like, I don't know, towards the end of the semester, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so behind. Like there's no point in catching up. But I think it's good to have that routine set in every week. Maybe you block out certain times that you do your readings. And yeah.
Yeah. For me personally, going into first year, a lot of the people around me did legal studies in year 12. I, on the other hand, did not do legal studies. So I was very scared, like, oh, because I didn't do legal studies, I was probably going to fall behind, or I'm not as good as them. But just know that everyone's probably going through the same thing as you. It is okay to maybe reach out if you are falling behind, for example, or if you are stuck. And the second thing is join societies, join subcommittees, and just go out there. Everyone's on the same boat as you. Everyone's kind of scared to make friends. They're all, first year trying to make friends. So yeah, like talk to the person next to you in law class, maybe talk to the person that you're waiting outside your law lecture with, because that could be your best friend, your long friend for a while, for a long time, even after law school.
Facts. Yeah.
All right.
Well, so that's it for today's episode. We hope that you guys enjoyed our first episode. Yeah.
And if you liked it, follow us on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and even LinkedIn if you're...
if you can find us on LinkedIn.
You can find us on LinkedIn.
That's it.
All right, let's...
Podcasting out.